I saw this, and I was like, oh, we got to talk about this. Apple privacy changes wipe out over $250 billion with a T, $250 billion. I think the exact number was like 278 billion dollars in less than a year from just four companies. That's not like the entire stock market. That is four companies. That is, Facebook being the biggest of them. What is Facebook, Twitter, Snap, and
Pinterest.
Pinterest? And I'm like, whoa, that's significant. Now, that's not $250 billion that they lost. That's just $250 billion in their market caps that's down. So that their stock prices have gone down. But that's significant. And this all stems from the security change that Apple released last year. I think it was around the April time frame, when they basically just prevented you, unless you opted in, from being tracked across websites on iPhones or iOS devices. So
it just highlights free ain't free. All those platforms that you mentioned, you said Meta, which is Facebook, Pinterest, Snap, and Twitter. All those are free services that we can use. All we gotta do is create an account, create a profile, do that, and you're good to go, right? So a lot of people will scoff at the idea or the mere mention of saying, well, what if you had to pay $1 or $2 a month for Twitter or Facebook or any other platform? A lot of people are like, I ain't doing that. It's free. It's free. They ain't already got us with the free. They can't turn around and charge us for a premium. All right, well, the joke's on you. You are giving them something, and it ain't just money. You're giving them your data. So now all of a sudden, Apple's come out with this privacy security thing, and they're like, good for Apple to cut all these companies out of being able to track me. I'm like, well, which one is it? You don't want to pay for the platform. Which, if you pay for the platform, maybe these companies may say, okay, well, we ain't got to work as hard to track you to get your data because we need the money. You're giving us some money up front. We ain't got to work as hard on the back end, right? You can't be like, okay, I want it to be free, but then be upset that they get the money on the back end. Which one is it?
Can't have your cake and eat it too. It'll be interesting to see how the revenue models shift, because they're going to need to shift, obviously, because I always ask the app not to track when presented with that option. I always say no. So, with that, there was a huge, faucet of just kind of unlimited money that was pouring out for these companies, and it got closed just a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see, if they just adjust their earnings forecasts and decide that we just going to be making less money from now on, or will they come up with some other revenue models that may include a subscription service like Terrance mentioned.
yeah, I think they're going to figure this out. These companies are huge. They're not going to just not make money. They will. They've got a lot of people who have a lot of ideas about, okay, well, what if we do this, or what if we do that, or what if we do this? So I absolutely believe that it's going to come back. But like I said, the 278, almost $280 billion. It's like, when you think, or not billion, billion. How much money that is. It's like,
insane.
I mean, a billion is 1,000 million. 1,000 million is a billion. So this is $278,000 that these market caps are now.
But ain't that crazy? It's just the market cap. It ain't like they not making any less money. The problem is, which is my whole gripe about, capitalism as a whole. It's just like, all right, where we look bad because we're not making as much money as we said we was going to make. Now, we made a bunch of money, but because we didn't make as much money as we said we was, everything's out of whack, and which is crazy. But
it's like, how much is enough, really?
Right.
Like, when will it ever be enough? And it doesn't seem like there is a ceiling.
Infinity is not enough.
Seriously,
Infinity is literally not
insane.
enough.
It's like, what is it going to take? And you can't scale forever. You can't grow forever. There's only a finite amount of people on the planet. If you put a smartphone in the hand of every person on the planet, you figured out a way to get them into the, rainforest or the Amazon or something, like, there would still be a limit, as X approaches zero, or as X approaches infinity, on how much money you can make. And when is enough enough?